Let's get right to it. One of the core data roles that's rarely discussed is a SQL developer. Why is it rarely discussed? Because it's hard. I've worked in BI, machine learning. I've worked as a DBA, a data engineer. I've even written the top machine learning models used in the real world from scratch. And the hardest thing I've ever had to do was to debug and refactor a stored procedure that was over 1,000 lines long. Why is it so hard for me? I don't know. I know I'm not the only one, though, because throughout my career, I've only met a handful of SQL Server developers that were any good. However, there will be people out there that fall in love with SQL, and a SQL developer is a top-tier data role. There are tons of jobs out there, and they all pay around $150K or more in the US. What does a SQL Server developer do all day? All SQL Server developers write SQL code all day. Now, they don't author simple selects like we machine learning engineers do. They author the SQL logic for applications used within the company. Almost all applications that need to speak to the data layer are going to use SQL. Someone's going to need to author all the code for those applications. The code is often hundreds, if not thousands of lines long. Let's check out some code from Stack Overflow. It's more advanced SQL. Now, it's not that advanced at all. It's actually a very basic block of SQL. However, it's going to show those new to SQL that developing is far different than a simple select statement. Even though SQL is SQL, each vendor will have their own nuances within SQL. For example, there are developers that only work with Microsoft databases. These developers are called Transact-SQL developers. There are others that only work with Oracle databases. These developers are called PL/SQL developers. Let's look at a data role for a Transact-SQL developer. In the job description, they actually put Transact-SQL. Again, this is Microsoft's flavor of SQL, and this will be for SQL Server databases. If you're interested in becoming a Transact-SQL developer, then this guy, Itzhak Ben-Gan, which I'm surely mispronouncing, is considered the world's greatest Transact-SQL developer. Even if you're not interested in becoming a SQL developer, it's important you know the data roles within the data space and what they do. Warning here, if you aren't passionate about SQL and don't have an affinity for it, I'd probably steer clear of this career. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.